You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Decent Show. We've got a very exciting episode today, and once again, we have the big three united in Reagan Horton, Kyle Gamble, and myself.
What up?
And yeah, what's up? It's gonna be an exciting episode. How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty great. The weather's always interesting. Weather could be better.
Corn's always interesting.
I'm excited. It's back to back, dude. Like Drake over here. Back to back.
Whoa. What a reference.
Consecutive episodes? Is this a trend? Uh-oh.
Is this the show now? Are we expanding?
I don't think so.
How much do we have to pay him? I don't have any money.
Half of what we make.
Okay. I'm not doing that. I'll pay for it.
All right. Well, pretty big show to talk about today.
Yeah, definitely. In today's episode, we're going to kind of cover most anticipated things of 2019, and that's going to kind of range from, TVs, music, some movies, some games, a lot of stuff coming out. Before we jump into any of that, does anybody want to kind of go over like what they've been up to in the past week? Any developments on like games or movies or just anything in general that you guys have been doing?
I got nothing, honestly. Yeah, nothing much is going on, There's not a ton of crap coming out, not a ton of stuff to watch or consume. Like I said, I've been watching like the same like 4 or 5 shows for about like 3 years now. It's
never gets old.
I'm briefly running through like some of the Marvel movies just to like prepare myself for Endgame. Like some of the ones I haven't seen that much, but I don't know.
Like what? Which ones have you not seen a lot?
I've only seen Homecoming once before this week, or twice actually before this week, and I want to rewatch Black Panther, especially because it's free, and then same with Infinity War. I want to watch that again. I haven't seen that in a minute, and I freaking love that movie.
So good.
So good. Oh yeah, what'd you think of it? Yeah, your first time seeing it like a week ago or whatever.
Oh yeah, Infinity War, really good. They did such a good job. Like obviously, I think a common critique would be like you want each hero to have like more screen time, right? But there's so many heroes that I think they do a really good job juggling all the heroes together. And like there's like 3 different locations where shit's going on, whether it's on Earth or over on Titan, right? Is that where he's from?
Yeah.
On that shit. So I was really impressed, and I really can't wait for Endgame. Is that it? Endgame?
Yeah, Endgame.
So I'm pumped. They keep doing better and better. Do you think this would be the best Avengers movie? Do you think this is tops it so far?
Endgame or Infinity War?
No, Infinity War. Yeah, we haven't seen Endgame yet, so
yeah, I think Infinity War is not. I think it's not only the best Avengers movie. I think it's the best Marvel movie, and I think it's probably the best comic book movie.
Okay.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
All right, fair enough. I don't know, man. Batman Begins has a few words for you, but
yeah, it's called the pool area.
The pool area. I really like Batman Begins. I know it's not perfect, but
it's a
just
dope
throw that
movie.
out there.
I mean, between that one and the second 2, it's a toss-up. So the whole trilogy is awesome. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, what? I don't get it.
But no, it's dope. It's dope. What'd you think about Money? What'd you think about watching it again?
Rewatching it, I mean, it was definitely great. I guess I didn't really forget a whole lot, but it had been a long time since I had seen it. And kind of like you both have said, just juggling that many heroes and kind of how all the storylines come together for Thanos is obviously like really well done, good continuity. And then I think Reagan, I don't know if you touched about this on air or off air, but just kind of like the certain pairings throughout the Avengers, like Raccoon and Thor, and like Chris Pratt and Thor, like that kind of like basically Thor meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy to me was like just super awesome, and like that worked like really well. And then kind of the whole Ant-Man Spider-Man confusion and just just the fact that just some of the meetings that happen throughout the movie, because we've seen all these movies and we connect them all already, but I just kind of forget that they technically, a lot of them haven't met each other, and then like just them coming together for the common goal of defeating Thanos was like just really like well done, amusing, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's a spoiler, and then like the ending is like really did that throw you off, Gamble? Did you see that coming?
When T'Challa and Peter turned to dust, bro.
Everybody died. They lose. Like, they freaking lose, Like, I never thought that would happen.
I feel like in the way it happened, maybe not. Like, I didn't see that coming, but I knew it was coming, because obviously there's a part 2, and I don't think they would have an entire part 2 if the first one ended, on a happy ending. Mm-hmm. And I think at some point in the movie, they mention, like, half of everyone disappearing. So when half of everyone... Yeah, total spoilers. So when half of everyone disappears, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, at the very end, when it shows exactly who is leaving, like, it's just like, it jerks the tear strings or whatever the fuck. I've watched that phrase. But it makes you want to cry because it's really sad. Like, all these heroes, half of everyone, exactly, is disappearing. So, yeah, it sucked. We were yelling no. We're like, no.
And, like, the way it gets there, too, though, I still can't get over the fact that, basically this happens. I mean, there's a number of reasons why, this happens. But the fact that they basically had it won, but Chris Pratt, like, ruined all of it. Like, they had it won. Like, they had the good thing going. Like, they're about to have the glove off his hand. And, like, Chris Pratt, like, I don't know. Like, I understand that he's emotional, but, like, it's really... I don't know, really stupid.
There's a theory that like Doctor Strange let that transpire because he knew it was the only way that they would win in the end. Because he says there's only one scenario where they all win. And
I was thinking that the entire time.
Like he's thinking like the theory, even though they technically lose and everybody like dies or whatever, the only way they actually end up like winning is if they take the L, I guess, in this one and they win in the other one. Who knows if that's true?
See, I don't buy into that for one reason, because to me, there's only this, like, whenever he says that, I mean, it happens after Chris Pratt says up. Like, he says that line after Chris Pratt has already messed up and they lose. So, I mean, I don't get how, because, I mean, like, how does them getting the glove off his hand and basically having him, 5-1, 9-1, however many people were there on Titan with him. I mean, they have all those guys, and then they have Thanos with no glove. Mm-hmm. Like, how do they lose that battle? Why does Thanos have to win for them to eventually win? Like, how does getting the glove off of him not result in victory?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, he also is, like, he's like the Hulk, only, like, even a better fighter. Because he fights the Hulk in the beginning, and he beats him, and he really never even uses the glove.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, dude. I don't
never know.
I feel like there's more ways they could have beat him had Chris Pratt not messed up versus, Chris Pratt messing everything up. That was the one way. Like, that's part of the one way that we end up beating him. But I mean, it's whatever. Like, I don't know. To me, like, of all the ways that it could have gone down, I could see that going down maybe better somehow. But I still not a huge deal. Like, obviously, still a great movie and dying to see Endgame.
All right, well, I guess on the topic of things we're dying to see or whatnot.
Segue.
Episode's going to be about 2019 things we're anticipating. I said that we start with music just because I don't really have anything to say on that, and I feel like that'll take the least amount of time, but you never know. So, what do y'all have to say on the music?
So I know that was a perfect transition, but I did want to let you know that I finally saw Jumanji. We saw Homecoming. Jumanji with The Rock and Kevin Hart. I finally watched it.
And Blackjack.
See, we've dumped on that movie together, so I just, like, in my brain, I was like, hey, he's seen it. It's like a Venom situation. But
so basically, it kind of followed Infinity War. Like, after we watched Infinity War, we wanted to watch Homecoming, and the only way that we could watch it for free was to, like, basically sign up for the 7-day Star subscription through Amazon Prime. So we did that, watched Homecoming. Obviously, it was great. We've talked about that. And then before I canceled the subscription, I just basically have been trying to go through there and watch every movie that looks worth a crap on there. And they had Jumanji on there. And honestly, yeah, it like kind of sucked. And they're coming out with a second one here in 2019, apparently. And it's got the same cast as far as it looks like. It's still got The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, yeah.
What? Jumanji spoilers here. At the end of Jumanji, they broke the game. So I was like, thank God, that means there's not going to be a sequel. So where the hell did they get off? I mean, at the beginning of the movie, remember his dad gives him the board game Jumanji, but they never use it. So maybe that's what's going to happen in the sequel, which is super disappointing. And then, because in the actual movie, they go play the video game and get sucked in, and then at the very end of it, they like throw a bowling ball on it.
Exactly.
All things.
That's the thing, dude. Is like they're making another one because they basically pulled the Daddy's Home, which is where you come out with a really crappy movie on the same day that Star Wars comes out, and that way when everybody goes see Star Wars, they're like, well, shoot, we're at the movie theater, what are we going to see? And like, oh, there's this piece of shit if you want to see that. I was like, oh, yeah, that'll be fun for the whole family. And then you go in there and you're like, oh, yeah, that was terrible, but in reality, those people are like, yeah, that was great. I don't know. Like, that's my thing with, like, that movie and, like, Baywatch. I'm like, I remember seeing that movie. Me and Gamble saw Baywatch, actually, which is kind of funny. But, because, like...
Did we really?
Yeah, dude, that's, like, one of the most random things ever. Yeah. And we went and saw that movie, and I remember, like, leaving that movie with, like, my brother and, like, his friend or whatever, and, like, I think, yeah, the other movie was so funny, and I was like, what was your favorite funny part? And, like, they couldn't really name one, and I was like, yeah, that's because it wasn't funny. You just thought it was because you were in a movie that was trying to make you laugh.
Yeah, yep.
That's a good point.
What would you give it, like Low-Key Garbo or what?
For Baywatch?
Yeah.
Jumanji?
Oh, sorry, Jumanji, my bad.
I would give Jumanji and Baywatch Low-Key Garbo.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because, like, Jumanji, I don't know what it was. Like, I guess it's easy for me to not crap on a movie, like, if I'm watching it while playing 2K, because I'm missing a lot of stuff. But, you know, if I were just watching the movie, like, I'd probably be bored out of my mind. Like, it was just really, like, simple plot. Like, it really wasn't that funny. Like, I don't know, Jack Black was probably, like, the funniest part of that movie, and even he was kind of, like... I don't know, he was kind of corny and annoying because he had to be like a basic white girl, so that's kind of like that trendy joke thing that I'm not a fan of. But still, like, Jack Black was probably the best part of that movie, and then the rest of it was just kind of boring, like, not that funny. Like, the Kevin Hart and The Rock really didn't, like, do anything that ridiculous, like, didn't say anything that ridiculous. I don't know, it was kind of whatever. It was pretty ass movie, and they're going to make another one, of course. So... But then we watched a lot of other shit. I finally watched Joe Dirt for the first time. That was pretty wild.
Which is crazy. You didn't see it?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of movies on here that I probably should have already seen by now that I hadn't seen. So I watched Joe Dirt, Tommy Boy with Chris Farley. I'd never seen it.
That movie's decent.
Yeah, it was decent. Both of those movies have David Spade. One movie that I did watch that I've been dying to watch for a while that I was really impressed with was Walk Hard with John C. Reilly making fun of Johnny Cash. That movie was hilarious. Like,
I want to see that.
I'm gonna walk hard. Walk. That was good. Yeah.
Dude, you don't even have your life figured out yet. What are you talking about? I'm 15 with a wife and kid. I got it all going on. So yeah, Walk Hard was hilarious. Like, definitely you should watch that, Reagan. And then I saw an old, like, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence movie called Life, where they, like, these two guys spend life in prison. It was all right. I watched Sicario 1 and 2, which was... Sicario 1 and 2, which is basically like Narcos in a movie. And then White Man Can't Jump with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. I had never seen that movie. I finally watched that. It was pretty good. I was surprised to say, like, I liked it, but it had, like, way too much cussing in it. Like, it was, like, an absurd amount of cussing. Like, you know, a movie has a ton of cussing if it, like, bothers me. Like, if I'm watching it, like, by myself and I'm like, wow, this movie cusses a lot, you know. So
was it comparable to, like, Superbad? Because for a while, Superbad had, like, a record for most cuss words or something.
There's more fucks than than minutes were in the movie. So there was an average of
That's amazing.
one, like, saying the
over
F word.
a fuck a minute.
Yeah. Great ratio.
And that's crazy is, like, that movie doesn't bother me as much, like, with discussing. I don't know. Yeah, and then I saw another old movie called Uncle Buck, which was, it had Macaulay Culkin in it before Home Alone. So it was kind of, and it was a comedy. It was kind of cheesy. But yeah, that pretty much caps off everything I watched on Starz so far.
Half of what they have.
Yeah, pretty much most of what they have, yeah.
I guess to wrap up our little what we've been doing segment, I've just been playing Final Fantasy V on the Vita.
Nice.
That's all I've been doing. Game that came out in like freaking the 80s, maybe 90s. Yeah, I'm going back playing that. Surprisingly good. It makes me want to play like number 6.
7's supposed to be the best one, so I guess you got to play that. That's on PS4.
Yeah, I'll wait for them to remake it. See, they went in 3D with 7, and I feel like looking back at it, as someone who never played many of the Final Fantasies, I'm not that into it. Like, I don't think it looks good. I don't think I'd really enjoy playing it, even though I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be remaking it as well, so I'm not that eager. The remake may take forever, but I can wait.
Well, swiggity swag.
Yeah, swiggity swooty.
All right, so what music are you looking forward to this year?
Well, Gamble, do you have anything, or should I get that started? Kind of see what you guys think of what I took notes on.
I have nothing, so yeah, you go ahead.
Okay.
X or something.
So I was telling Gamble before we got on this episode, like in terms of like I only really looked up hip hop music, just because really it's like all I listen to. A lot of people have announced that, you know, this album that's going to be coming out for them this year is their last album. And I mean, when I say a lot, it's probably like 4 or 5, but to me, it's still like quite a few artists that are coming out with an album in the same year that are going, yeah, after this, I'm done. So yeah, I found that kind of interesting. The first person, I'll just get started with kind of like, I guess, a soft intro on an album coming out this year that claims it's their last album, and that is The Game.
Really?
Yeah, so kind of a soft intro there. Game is coming out with an album called West Side Story, I believe, and apparently it's got, Dre beats on it, possibly some Scott Storch, if I remember correctly. So, you know, 2 like classic producers that have worked with Game like quite a bit, and he claims it's going to be his last album. So we'll see. Like, the man made quite a bit of music. I think in like 2016 he came out with like 3 or 4 like different albums. What? And then he like he's had a few singles since then, but he hasn't made a whole lot of music since then. It's kind of weird. Like, he just had like a splurge of like all these albums, and then he like took a couple years off, and then I think he did like Documentary 2 and then Documentary 2.5, and then couple singles here and there, and now I guess this is going to be his final album here in 2019.
Wow. Okay. That blows my mind.
Any thoughts on that? And his favorite Game album? Have you listened to Game recently? Anything like that?
To me, we were really big into Jesus Piece in high school.
Huge.
And the Documentary has a couple of good songs, and then I like the Red album as well. But to be honest with you, I mean, Jesus Piece came out in like 2012, like something like that. I haven't really felt anything he's come out since then. Yeah, I don't know. I really like his style and his voice, like when he's rapping and everything. But I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is I'm not a huge fan of of a lot of rappers just because I usually just like a few of their songs. But I will say I like a lot more of his songs than other people. So maybe he can have like one last great album because I don't know. To me, like Jesus Piece is a great album, but I don't even know if Red album is a great album. I think it just has like 4 or 5 like great songs, and then there are a few that are
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope he can have like another great album and then go out on top.
Yeah, it would be nice. I think similar strain to what you were saying. The last game I really listened to was probably Jesus Piece. I probably listened to it sometime, in the last couple months. Just bumping a few of those. I'm looking at my iTunes right now for the game.
Yeah.
Blood Moon, Year of the Wolf. I guess that had a few good ones. I mean, a few here and there.
And I had my timeline wrong. He came out with Documentary 2 in 2015, Documentary 2.5 in 2015, And then 2 and 2.5 Together in 2016, which collected up to 40 songs. And then 20, and then after that, so he has like this huge, massive double album in 2015, 2016. But then in 2016, same year, he comes out with Streets of Compton, Block Wars, and then 1992. And it's like 11 songs, 10 songs, and 13 songs. So that's like a shit ton of music in a year or two span. And then he hasn't really dropped anything since, except for like a single here and there.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I mean, a legend in his own right, the game, for sure. Sad to see him go. Is that for sure this year? Like, confirmed?
I don't know. I didn't, like, the article that I was reading kind of just had blurbs about every album. You know, it doesn't really, I don't think they can really confirm anything because, like, on a few of them that said, like, anticipated 2019, they're like, yeah, we were already supposed to get this in 2018, but it got pushed back or just got pushed back. So, I mean, you know, stuff like that can always happen. So I wouldn't say anything that we talk about here is guaranteed just because a lot of it's already been delayed as is.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, Game, that kind of covers the Game. A lot of old people are dropping an album this year, and that was the other thing I told Gamble off air that I thought was funny is that, like, a lot of old people are dropping albums, but a lot of people that are younger than them are claiming it's their last album. So the old people dropping would be like Nas, Q-Tip, Missy Elliott, Czarface, and Ghostface Killah, which are both from Wu-Tang, Black Star, all Run the Jewels. So like all those old people claim they're dropping an album. I don't think any of them have said it's like their last, but they're all like they've been in the game since the 90s, and they're all making an album. And then like another artist saying it's their final album. On the other end of the spectrum is somebody like Lil Xan, who's only been around for a couple of years. And he's already claiming it's his last album. So
wow.
Seems like a publicity thing or like a hype thing to get people to buy it, honestly.
Yeah, I know Bieber did that for sure. He was like, it's my last album, and then he came out with an album like a year later, and we all listened to it, Fuego. Yeah.
Of course.
Typical Biebs.
Typical Biebs, man.
And then, so now the rest is just kind of people dropping an album. So I'll just kind of, also I wanted to mention, so actually I'm going to hit you with some big news here. Childish Gambino claims to be coming out with an album this year after getting a Grammy, getting a Grammy for This Is America. And then I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but apparently he's going to be in the live action Lion King movie or the CGI Lion King movie, whatever it is that they're coming out with this year. Did you guys know that?
No.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, he's Simba.
He's Simba?
Yeah.
Wow. So there you go. So he's doing Lion King, dropping an album, and according to whatever, this is his last album.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, he wants to be an actor, yeah.
Exactly. More away from music, more into, like, writing, acting, producing, I guess. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for the album, nonetheless.
And it said something about singles, and I didn't know what other singles there were aside from This Is America. So
that Summertime one?
Yeah.
That one. Redbone, wasn't that one? I don't know how long ago that was.
Redbone was on the album, on his R&B, like, soul album.
You're right. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah, I guess it was just This Is America, and then the Summer Pack is what it was called. It was 2 songs, Summertime Magic and Feels Like Summer.
The Summer Summer Pack.
Yeah, exactly. And also Spotify has been kind of going through and adding old music, like old mixtapes and stuff, to Spotify. So like a couple of like old Currency and Wiz Khalifa tapes have been added to Spotify. It looks like EP 2011 re-release by Gambino got added to Spotify. Looks like some old songs from 2011 got, put on there. So that's pretty cool.
The silver cover? Is that it?
No, it's got leaves. It's just like all fall leaves.
Oh, EP, yeah. With Be Alone. I'm looking at it, yeah. That's a good one.
Well, there you go. So that's pretty cool.
5 songs.
But yeah, Gambino claiming it's his last album, and then other people would be like Chance the Rapper, and then like his next solo project, and then the Chance and Kanye project called Good Ass Job, which should have dropped last year but still hasn't dropped, is supposedly coming out this year. And then Frank Ocean's next album, apparently a Blonde, follow-up, is supposed to be happening. but that one would probably be one that you shouldn't count on. Just knowing Frank, and then Kate Trinata, which I know Gamble likes. He's supposed to be dropping something.
Okay.
And then have either one of you guys heard of Earth Gang?
Nope.
Okay, well, I started listening to them earlier, and they're actually pretty good, and they're a Dreamville signee from Atlanta. So they're supposed to be dropping an album. They've been around for a couple of years, and I just started listening to them today. I was pretty impressed. And then big artists like Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy are supposed to be dropping albums this year, at least Schoolboy for sure, because his got pushed back from 2018 due to Mac Miller's death.
Mm-hmm. That was my question. I was about to ask if there's any TDE stuff coming out. So that's good. Schoolboy, Kendrick, hopefully no Absol, but that's okay.
SZA is expected to drop an album too. How do you pronounce her name?
Yeah, I never know. SZA.
Yeah, SZA. Yeah.
Some people say that, and I don't like that.
To me, it's better than saying the three letters, but either way. Lil Wayne's supposed to drop an album called Funeral. I don't know if you guys had heard this. I don't remember if that was rumored to be his last album or not. I don't think it was. I think he just said he was coming out with Funeral. And apparently last year, not only did he drop Carter 5, but he also dropped Dedication 6, which I did not listen to or know about.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of over Lil Wayne for a while. I don't know. Or his new stuff.
Yeah, same.
Me too. It would make sense for a last album to be named Funeral, but
I feel like he's going Carter 6, and that'll probably be his last, or the last Carter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Carter 5 wasn't bad, but I didn't love it. I don't know. I've been kind of over Wayne for a while, but
since 4, honestly, Carter 4.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you.
Yeah. And then an artist I like named Freddie Gibbs is pairing up with a producer that he's worked with in the past, and supposedly that's going to be his last album, which is interesting because he's been around for a few years, but not like anything crazy, like maybe like 2011.
Which producer?
Madlib.
Okay.
They did a joint project called Pinata, which apparently was had good production and good bars on it. I've listened to it, but it's been a while, so I was re-listening to that today. So they're supposed to drop some. And then who else is on here?
Any Royce?
Royce dropped a single, and it was kind of called Field Negro, and that is the name of the song. So no racial, no racial mess up intended. That's just the name of the song, and kind of jabs at like some of the current artists in the rap game. It kind of addresses Tory Lanez, who's been calling out a lot of people, trying to start beef with a lot of people. It's kind of weird. So Royce is still making music, but I don't know if there's any word of an album. And then that Joyner album is supposed to drop, and it's supposed to have a storytelling song with Eminem on there. So that should be exciting. There's been a lot of hype around that song. And then Joey Badass, whose last album was really well received. I've never been crazy about him though. And then Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2, the sequel to his debut album in 2006.
Whoa, can't wait.
Yeah, rumored by Rick Ross to be an instant classic, of course, and it even said like in the blurb about it that like LeBron James is excited about this album. And I was like, well, if LeBron's excited, then I mean we're all excited.
Goat.
The GOAT, yeah.
Who, Rick Ross or LeBron?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, definitely Rick Ross.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. And then to cap it off, Big Sean and Kanye's album Yandi are also expected to come out this year in 2019.
I thought that already came out, but okay, cool.
What, Yandi?
Yeah, maybe I heard about it.
He came out with what was called Yay, which was like 8 songs, but no, Yandi is not released. It's supposed to be the sequel to Yeezus, of course.
Of course, I was about to say, is it a play on Gandhi? And I guess it is.
Yeah.
So
good old Kanye.
Fuchsius or something? Is he gonna be like Fuchsius? I don't fucking know.
Oh, probably.
Where is he going next?
Gala. Yeah.
Instead of what?
Allah.
Oh, okay. I think.
So, yeah.
God damn it.
That's all I have expected. That's pretty much all I wrote down for hip hop in terms of what's coming out in 2019. I'm sure there's a lot of pop artists, R&B people, obviously other big name artists dropping albums, but I really just kind of wanted to look at the rap side of things.
Gamble, you got anything you're hyped for?
See, the stuff I'm hyped for is really hard to get a date for, I guess, because a lot of what I like to listen to, I go through SoundCloud, so whatever shows up on SoundCloud that day. I like a lot of techno and progressive stuff, and most artists who make that usually release an EP style or single style, so maybe one song, maybe 2 to 3 or 4, at the most. And so those are just, and one artist may do that 3 times in 1 year. So, there's probably a ton of stuff that I'm looking forward to just based on different labels. For techno, what is it? Drum Code, of course. There's one in Spain called Sora, I think. It's Spanish, so forgive me. But yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. And I just find that stuff on YouTube mainly and just hit the like button and then saves it to a playlist for me, and it's pretty goddamn convenient. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, just all that stuff.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Money touched on a lot of rap, too.
I looked it up. Nickelback's not coming out with an album this year, so there's really nothing for me to be pumped about.
Oh, what?
I know.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You're not pumped about any of that hippity hop?
Who is coming out with an album? I pulled up the official Wikipedia for albums coming out this year. Apparently Mike Posner and Papa Roach released an album a month ago, so there's that to look forward to.
I like Papa Roach.
Ariana Grande just came out. Florida Georgia Line came out with one yesterday.
Oh, they're
we're
so
excited.
good. Every song's about me.
It's labeled as bro country under genre.
Wow.
Bro, it's a perfect description though.
God,
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm with it. Lana Del Rey's coming out with another album. Look at that.
Ooh.
Lana.
Oh.
Lana!
Voted best bro country album of the year, Florida Georgia Line. Woo!
Del Rey CDN.
So Reagan, none of that music you're looking forward to. You're not looking forward to anything.
I mean, nothing more than you just announced. I mean, you just hit on all the rappers that I listen to, and I'm sure.
Yep.
I doubt Eminem will come out with something this year, just because it was weird that he came out with something last year, just because of his cycle, I guess. But I'm sure he'll have some features that'll be freaking dope.
He's been pretty active on features lately. I mean, in comparison to his past, he's done quite a few features in the last 2 to 3 years.
And I'm glad he is, because I mean, at his age, usually you start to do very little in the rap game or nothing at all. But I appreciate that he's still putting out a lot of good music.
Yeah.
Even if it's not even if it's not his song per se, I still appreciate the verses, the bars. So. Yeah, does anyone have anything to say about TV before we move on to the bigger topics? Anything television-wise you're looking forward to this year?
Big Mouth, Season 3.
Season 3, okay.
Big Mouth, yep.
We watched that Valentine's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I think I liked it a little better, and I remembered it, so I guess I liked it.
Oh, just throw it in my face, why don't you?
Yeah, I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as any television. We don't pay for cable, so I don't know what that's coming out. As far as new shows, just Netflix, Hulu. What up?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to Big Mouth. I'm hoping they're gonna make more Narcos. I finished Narcos Mexico, so I'm excited. If they come out with another episode or another season of that, and there's a new season of Peaky Blinders. I want to catch up on that show. I'm probably 3 seasons behind. But yeah, other than that, I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. I'm trying to stay on this movie game, that kind of thing.
That's brilliant. I would say I just thought of it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that show's come back. Super, I like that show a lot. I really want to watch every episode. I've only seen bits and pieces. But yeah.
It got picked up by NBC, right?
Yeah, because Fox dropped it, I
Fox
think.
dropped it. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm down for that show, and then Game of Thrones, the final season comes out this year, and I'm freaking pumped for that because there's only like 6 episodes, and every one of them is like 2 hours long. Like each one of them is like a movie in itself, and it's apparently like freaking epic. Like everyone who's in the show is like, yeah, like the shit's gonna be real. Like you're never gonna see what's coming. Like some people are like, you're gonna be super satisfied, you're gonna be super devastated. Like I don't know. I'm really pumped for it because it's one of the shows where like literally the bad guy could win and it would make sense just because like people die on that show out of nowhere and it makes like it literally throws you for a loop. So like literally everyone could die in the first episode and it wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me, but I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty consistent. So I'm super pumped to see how that wraps up. I started watching that this past year and it's a pretty awesome show.
So you're like caught up, ready to go for the final season?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. I watched like all 70 or whatever episodes, and each one of them is an hour long. But I was like, yeah, I gotta watch all of this.
Of course.
The first season, I literally almost did. I almost gave up. Though the first season is pretty garbage until like the last. The first 7 episodes of the season are pretty bad, and then like the last 3 where it starts to pick up and like you start to see how like storylines like tie together and stuff is like pretty satisfying. So then like it gets you. But yeah, I'm really pumped for that show. That show's coming back in April. I don't know how that's going to work with like Avengers and everything because I feel like I'll literally forget about that show whenever like Avengers comes out. And I don't know how long they go for. I don't know if they're going to come out with one every week or if they're going to release like 2 at a time or whatnot. But yeah, I'm ready for that show.
Because I mean, you're going to watch it on like HBO Go, right?
Yeah.
You don't, so you don't know if I think they release it.
I think they release
weekly?
it after it airs, yeah. After it airs on TV, like cable.
Yeah.
I think they release it like the next day or something. But yeah, that's what I'm pumped for. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, if that's it for TV, I mean, we can move into video games. Is that kind of what we were thinking?
Yeah, we'll go video games.
Yep.
Not a ton here, honestly. Not a ton. For me, at least. I was gonna say, Gamble. Did you see the Nintendo? Like they had a direct the other day. Which is where they're like mini press conference or whatever. But anyway, the only reason I mentioned is because they put like a bunch of Dragon Quest games like all on the Switch, and I was like, yeah, Gamble's hyped as hell, son.
Don't own a Switch. I guess that's going to be my new thing. But my most anticipated thing in 2019 as far as video games would be, and I don't know if it's true, but it would be an upgraded Switch, like a Switch Pro, basically.
Oh,
yeah. If that's true, I've heard rumors, seen rumors, whatever. If that's true, I'll buy one immediately. But I don't know.
I hope it's true.
I hope it's true, too.
Because they just put...
I want a Switch now.
They put like an Assassin's Creed game on it, and I was like, that's kind of dumb because they put one that not a lot of people like that much, and then like a new one came out this year, and like you're telling me the same year that a new one comes out that everyone loves, you're gonna put an old one on it that like not a lot of people like. They put like Assassin's Creed 3 on the Switch, and I was like, great. Like I remember in 2012 when I bought that game. Like 7 years ago, and I didn't like it then. Why would I like it now when the graphics are like worse?
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
That's my beef with the Switch. Is they just put like stupid shit on there that I don't understand why. But I think it's just because it's not powerful enough.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That would be dope if they made a stronger one. I guess that could run like PS4 games because that's kind of one I want to play on it anyway.
Very true. So as far as games go, not so much consoles, because there's no consoles coming out this year, unless the Switch
Probably not. Yeah.
True. We may hear about some other ones, but I don't think so. Maybe next year. It seems to be the consensus. So let's go with games that are actually going to come out this year. Okay. What you got? You got something top of your list, Reagan?
I'm looking at a few games to talk about. I'm pretty pumped for... Again, like, all the games I'm pumped for, they're not even, like, it's not even guaranteed they're supposed to come out this year. So, I really am excited for Last of Us 2. Like, I'm freaking ready to play that game.
Of course.
So pumped for that game, dude. I'm so fucking pumped for that game. But it doesn't have a release date on it. But at the same time, like, they revealed it 3 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, in 2016. And we've seen like demos and stuff of it. And usually when you see like an extensive demo, like the game is pretty much ready. So I'm like super pumped for that game. There's this game called Days Gone. It's like a lot of zombies on screen. Like it's a pretty ridiculous looking game. I'm kind of excited for that game. That game can go either way for me. I think it looks fun, but I don't really know if I'm gonna love it. Another game, I really want to play Cyberpunk, but that game doesn't have a 2019 release date either, and I'm kind of thinking it's not going to come out, which I find a little ridiculous because there was a trailer for that game. Apparently, like I looked it up, there was like an announcement trailer for that game in like 2013, like an E3 trailer, and I was like, "Are you shitting me? Like you announced this game 6 years ago, and it's not even going to maybe come out this year." Like, that's so dumb to me. Like, for context, like, when that trailer came out, the PS4 wasn't even out yet, and the PS5 could be out by the time you release your game. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me how it takes that damn long.
I think that may be the problem, though. They may just be like, fuck it, this took forever. Let's just make it a PS5 game, Like, I don't know.
That's the thing is, like, I think they're going to have to...
It's pretty stupid, though.
They're going to piss people off if they don't put it on PS4 just because that's... Like, they're going to have, like... They're going to do one of those things where, like, Black Flag, Assassin's Creed and, like, Call of Duty Ghosts, like, they did, like, a swap thing where they were both on PS3 and PS4, but it looked better. They're probably going to do that, and it's probably going to come out, like, early next year or something, but... I don't know. I really hope that game comes out this year because I think it's a little ridiculous that I have to wait any longer for it. Like, I think it's stupid. But I'm really pumped for that game.
I missed it. What was the name of that game? Was that Cyberpunk, or did you say another game after that?
Cyberpunk 2077. It's from the people that did
What is that?
All right, it's from the people that did The Witcher. Like, The Witcher is a game I did not like at all. I think it's a worse Skyrim, which is not a popular opinion. A lot of people love it. But, the thing about the game is, like, it's a really, like, deep and, like, well-made RPG. Like, I don't think it's... Like, I just didn't like the gameplay, and I didn't like the character I was playing as. But, like, this game is, like, you make your own character, so that's not going to be a problem. And the gameplay is first-person shooter, which I love, so, like, I'm super down. And, like, you can slow down time.
More like Skyrim.
You shoot bullets, and, like, they ricochet off of stuff, and you can control how they ricochet, and you can do, like... I don't know, you have, like, swords and stuff, like, futuristic swords, and, like, just slice through people, and the gore is, like, ridiculous. Another game...
Was I watching you demo that game whenever I was last over?
Yeah, I showed you, like, a few kills in it or whatever, like, just... And I think I also showed you, like, the official trailer for it. But, like, that game has, like, a huge, like, 45-minute demo. Another reason I don't see why it can't come out this year, but... So I'm like, pumped for that game. Because I like that style of RPG, and it's been a while since I've like really been hyped for like I haven't been hyped for like an RPG in like a while, and I feel like there hasn't been a really substantial one like that in a while. So I'm really pumped for that game. There's another game called The Outer Worlds. I showed that trailer to y'all last time I was there. I'm skeptical on that game. A lot of people are kind of saying it looks like a better version of Fallout. To me, it looks like a Fallout version of Fallout. It looks a lot like it. Like it doesn't look that different to me. Like I'm like, this game doesn't look that different. It looks like the graphics look like just as good. Like the gameplay looks pretty similar. You can slow down time, which is what you do in Fallout with the VATS and everything, basically. So that game, that's another game where I feel like it could go either way, where it could either be not that good, or like it could be really good. But like I feel like it has some skeptical potential, I guess, on that one. And then a recent game is like Far Cry New Dawn. New Dawn.
Yep.
Me and you were supposed to get that money because we played all of 5 and had a pretty decent time with it. That game is getting like mixed reviews, and I've watched like some things on it, and I'm a little skeptical on it because it's like $40, but it seems like it's worth like $20 because it seems like it's just an expansion, like because they take the same map from Far Cry 5, and they just like redid it a little bit, and they sort of added like the Assassin's Creed like RPG like mechanics and stuff. Like people have damage now instead of just like you can shoot them 3 times no matter what, they're dead. Like they have levels and stuff like that. Which I don't know if that works or if it doesn't work. So like I feel like we'll probably end up getting that game, honestly, just because there's not a lot of games that we can play or want to play together, I guess, because you like 2K, and I like Call of Duty and stuff like that, so there's not a ton of crossover. So I feel like we'll get that game.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be like Far Cry 5. We'll have a decent time with it and just sort of move on. It won't be like, oh, dude, this game is just, it's the shit, dude. It's just so good. Like, can't get enough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured something was up. The fact that, you know, they released it so, you know,
quickly,
like kind of back to back almost. Yeah, like, you know, it
Bad.
kind of takes them a little bit longer to make a Far Cry game. So if they make one this quickly, you know, for a cheaper price, you kind of already knew something was up. And I think we already knew that it was like, you know, post-apocalyptic. I think it even says in the description, you know, the post-apocalyptic, I can't speak today. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, in that world after Far Cry 5, so yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not crazy about it either, but it sounds like they maybe made some improvements. I do kind of like the different levels of bad guy thing, but I mean, that kind of already existed. I mean, different guys have different symbols above their head, and some of them are quicker to kill than others just based on how much armor they're wearing. So, I mean, I don't know. It sounds interesting. I'm down to check it out, or if we want to wait for a little bit, see if it gets cheaper or free, like that's fine too. Like I know it's not going anywhere, and it'll probably be a while before they make a proper like new Far Cry.
Far Cry 6 or something, yeah. Maybe next console.
And like the only other game I got to talk about is just like you were talking about us in the pre-show, the Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order? Yeah.
Fallen Order, bro.
I'm excited for that game, but it's also being made by a piece of shit company. So I'm not.
Respawn?
EA?
No, not EA. I'm sorry, I guess
Respawn's dope. Yeah.
The publisher,
Respawn.
I guess, hopefully not making it, but. I mean, they've made 2 Battlefront games, and both those games are pieces of horse cock. Like, they're just terrible. I'm not a fan of either one of those games. Like, they're super boring. They're very... I don't know. There's nothing to them. Like, there's no meat on the bones. The story in the second one was not good. It was just not interesting at all. Like, I don't understand how it's that hard to make an interesting Star Wars story. Like, it's such a cool thing.
So much.
It's so boring.
And it's
so
a shame,
Star Wars.
I really enjoyed the campaign of both games, I think, and I enjoyed playing it because I like Star Wars that much, but you are right, they did a horrible job like putting together a story and putting together a compelling campaign, which is sad because like if I had that much fun playing something bad, like I can't imagine if they actually put some effort into it, like that would be great.
And it just seems I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I don't know, you kind of talked about how it's being made by EA and EA's done a bad job so far. And you said Respawn is the publisher?
No, EA is the publisher. They like oversee making the games, and like Respawn is the team that's actually making the game. They made Titanfall 2, which a lot of people love. There's some people from Call of Duty there that made like Modern Warfare 1 and 2, like all the really great Call of Duty games. So like that team makes good games, but it's just one of those things where like
think that'll make it better.
Well, the thing is like I feel like they announced it in June of 2018, and they had nothing. And it's now February of 2019, and the game's supposed to come out this fall, and we haven't seen anything on it. We don't know anything about it, like literally nothing.
True.
It just we assume we're playing as a Jedi or something. And I guess they've said that it takes place after Order 66, so like you have to survive that basically. Like between episodes 3 and 4. Between episodes 3 and 4, yeah. Which is a dope idea. Like, don't get me wrong, dope, but like, we're running out of time here. We haven't seen anything on it, so I feel like that game will almost likely get delayed, or it'll be another Battlefront 1 and 2 situation where I don't think the game's going to have a multiplayer per se, but I think it's going to have a very, very short, very dry, like not that interesting Star Wars campaign. It's not going to be that fun, honestly, just because it's such a short window, and EA made both those terrible Star Wars games. Battlefield 5 apparently isn't that good. Anthem is kind of, I played it and it was kind of dull. Like, they haven't made a lot of good, EA hasn't made a lot of good games recently. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy it probably, but my hopes are low on it. Like, that's the thing is like, I'm such a Star Wars fan. Like, I'll buy anything. Like, and I hate that about me, but I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's just gonna happen because I want a damn Star Wars game to be good.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. We will hope.
Yeah, and then there's one more game I
Episode
just
4,
remembered.
We hope.
Nice.
Boom.
There's a Switch game coming out. It's called like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, dude, I had the same thing. Yeah.
Which I saw that. That game is like, I don't know. It's like on the surface, it's like everybody's wet dream. Like you have to play as every Marvel character from the movies and like just kill the shit out of people and like play like 2-player, 3-player, 4-player. Like that's really awesome. That's really cool. But then I look at it and I'm like, this literally looks like it's running on a cell phone. Like the graphics look just terrible, dude. They look potato internet quality. Like it just doesn't. And that's another game where like I'm gonna buy it and I'm probably not gonna like it because I'm a freaking sap and I'll just eat up whatever you throw at me. But yeah, that's a game where I don't.
Sounds like you.
Yeah, I hope it's fun at least. I guess.
And this is a sequel to those old games that came out before the Marvel movies that were on like, PlayStation 2 and Xbox, right? Or Xbox 360. And it had like Spider-Man on the cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a fighting game, a story game?
It's kind of like a God of War, honestly. Like the old God of Wars, you know what I mean? Like it's like third person. And you like go and just kill a bunch of enemies that are just like cannon fodder, and you like, there's like bosses every now and then, and you have like combos and stuff like that. That's like pretty much like if I had to describe it, it's like that.
Okay.
And I like the God of War games.
Pretty dope.
The game will probably be decent, but it's not really what I want from. I don't know. It's not what I want from a Star Wars game. It's not what I want from a Marvel game. I want something like Spider-Man where like it looks really good and it's really fun and it's like innovative and all that. And they're supposed to come out with. That's another thing. In 2016, they announced a Avengers game that was like supposed to be like high quality, like AAA. A lot of money put into it by like Square Enix, the people who made the first Hitman game and Tomb Raider and stuff like that. And I was like, that sounds freaking awesome. Haven't heard anything about it, so. I assume that's either canceled or, I don't know, maybe they're going to announce it and then come out with it super quick, but I really don't think that game's coming out anymore, which is a bummer.
Could be a PS5 game, man. You never know.
I'm so tired
you never know.
Games getting announced like years before they come out.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. Pretty lame indeed. What about Jump Force? You know that game? I thought you'd be into that because it's fucking Dragon Ball.
Well, like that's the thing is like it looks cool because it's
right?
Dragon Ball and it's got like Yu-Gi-Oh in it and like that's pretty awesome to be able to fight Yu-Gi-Oh with freaking Goku, even though it makes no sense. But like, but I don't care about. It's got like 40 characters in it. I don't care about like 38 of them. So what? Like I've never heard of like 38 of them.
There's probably like. Oh wow. There's not more Dragon Ball characters. There's got to be.
Oh no, there's not. I'm exaggerating. There's Vegeta and Frieza, like the classics, Cell, I think, is in it too, actually.
Majin Buu.
I don't think he's in it, honestly.
Joey Wheeler in it?
Wheeler.
Okay, fair enough.
It also got like mixed reviews the other day. Apparently, it's not that good of a fighting game.
Fair enough. It just looked cool, but that makes sense. I mean, the good fighting games are the ones that have been around for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the graphics are like amazing, and like when they're fighting, it looks pretty sick. But apparently, it's not that fun to play.
I've never been a fighting game guy myself.
Yeah.
Game I want to check out, which also released last week, the same day as Far Cry New Dawn, is actually Metro Exodus. I've always been kind of interested in that series. I think I own the first two, but I think they're on Steam.
Have you played them?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've just always been interested in that series, and apparently they're not too long of games, so I think I could just sit down and play like the first one or two real quick. And they've remastered them and put them together in a bundle on PlayStation 4, so I can get like all three games. And I definitely want to check it out because it's that.
What kind of games are they? I know the last one looked really cool. Oh, it's a shooter, like one-player story shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could think of, but more like
single-player post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, some survival elements, like you can only have so much ammo or things like that. But it's pretty straightforward, like kind of like maybe a Call of Duty or Battlefield campaign, but not as action-packed, I imagine. just because, like I said, it is post-apocalyptic. You're like in the underground tunnels. I think you gotta like not scavenge, but find your ammo, find your food. Maybe I don't know how deep it goes into the survival elements, but I think there's a little bit of that. And the new one just looks even better, just because it's newer, actually made for PlayStation 4, and I think they made it a little more open world. I believe, I'm not sure, which I'm always into.
It's a little more open world. It's a lot of people would draw comparisons to it to like Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider, where it's like you get into an open area, or God of War, where like you get into an open area and you can kind of go in different ways, but it's not. It's still sort of linear. It's kind of hard to describe, but you have a little bit of freedom.
Yeah, that sounds like Dragon Quest in a way as well. There's just big open areas, and there may be like, oh, you can't quite go here yet. You can't, open this door yet. You got to come back. Shit like that. So, which makes sense. So that whole series looks dope. The new one looks really dope. You're right, Reagan, about the Assassin's Creed 3 thing. So in May 21st, the Assassin's Creed 3 remastered / Liberation remastered combo comes to the Switch.
Makes
So
sense.
random.
But
why not two?
On March 29th, the same thing comes to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So we get it first. Amazing. Just can't wait to buy something else.
Wait,
instead of that.
so they remastered 3 and Liberation for PS4?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's coming out at the end of March. And then what else was we looking at? Coming out with a new Kirby game. That's always cool. I've always appreciated Kirby. Rage 2. Rage 2 was the one I wanted to talk about. I think Ryan kind of wanted to as well. I guess Reagan too. All right. We're all looking forward to Rage 2. Did y'all play the first? Did y'all play it, beat it? Or what did y'all think of the first?
I think I GameFly'd it back when I had GameFly. And I played it, and I think I enjoyed parts of it, but I definitely didn't get very far. I don't know. I just wasn't into that kind of game back then. I think it was definitely, I don't know, it's not exactly the same as Fallout, but it's kind of like, same company basically, and so some similarities there. And so, yeah, I probably didn't get far at all before I returned it. The second one looks dope,
I played the first one. I got pretty far in it, if I remember, but it did get kind of stale. And looking at the second one, I really hope, but I don't think, I hope it gets a little more ridiculous. I hope you can do, crazy shit in the game. I hope, you can, I don't know, shoot fire out of your mouth or something. I hope there's just insane crap you can do, because right now it just looks like you can throw up a shield and you can, smash the ground, I don't know, just you can jump up in the air and then smash the ground. There's a little bit of that over the topness. I wish they would just go all in and give you all these crazy ass abilities. That's what I want. For me, at least.
That would be cool.
But it looks cool. It looks dope. Looks fun. Kill just go around, kill a crap ton of people. One thing with that game is I wish it was just co-op or something. If it were co-op, I'd be way in on it. Whereas it's single player, I don't know. That's another reason why I get Far Cry over that, because I can play it by myself, or I can play it with money or someone. We can, and that's what it's fun is just dicking around together, going to those outposts, being sneaky and stuff. Whereas this game is just you can just play it by yourself, but it looks looks fun. They got weird vehicles, Mad Max looking vehicles, and vehicle combat and all that, and the guns look sick, and the gore is ridiculous. So it's probably gonna be an awesome game.
There's always been a little ridiculousness to Rage, I think. The first one, this one, and Far Cry New Dawn, and I've heard other people say this, but it's post-apocalyptic, but it's neon colors, greens and blues and pinks and shit like that, where old post-apocalyptic stuff, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout in general, the first Rage, they were all brown and tan and black and stuff like that. So I think when they go more colorful, going a little more ridiculous with it makes sense, just because it's not as serious, I guess. Because the first Rage, it's kind of not spooky, it didn't try and scare you, but just crazy things would just jump out behind you or run at you, full on, just head first, run face first into you, and you just got to be on your toes. That's how I felt playing it. And maybe I was playing on the hardest difficulty too, which was part of it, because you die really quickly. So I definitely took my time. There's a, of course, rage is a little ridiculous. Like you run around. The first one had vehicle combat, and that was basically what you did half the time was driving place to place. But it was fun. So I'm really looking forward to the second one. It's like 3 months away, so that kind of sucks. But let's go.
Gives you all summer to play it.
Gives me all summer to buy it and then play it later. Money, you got a game you're looking forward to? 2K20?
Yeah, and that's it for games. So now on move. No, I'm just kidding. I wrote down a few. You guys have touched on quite a few, so that was really good. Last of Us 2, obviously, I'm probably going to play it. I did play the first one. Obviously, Reagan's more diehard on that. Reagan, did you do story and then multiplayer, or?
Yeah. That's the story. Actually, took me a while to beat it.
Before you got into the multiplayer.
But I played the story first, and I played that for because the story's actually kind of long. I played it for 5 or 6 hours, and then I liked the multiplayer a lot, so then I played that, and I went back and forth, and it took me a while. But yeah, I kind of did both at the same time, honestly.
Do you have a game plan for this one? Kind of the same thing, or?
I want to play the story first, just because I'm more curious to where that goes, and I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of more excited for, I guess the gameplay, and it looks really cool. Just the environmental takedowns and stuff, like the brutality of it, isn't really going to be in multiplayer, I don't think. And I'll probably put a lot more time in the multiplayer than I will single player. So I just want to go ahead and get through that, and I'm interested to see what the story goes anyway. So I might as well just go through that. And that's the thing is it's one of the rare games where I honestly don't know if I like the story or the multiplayer better, and I like them both. So.
Yeah, they were both actually, quite a bit of fun. I had fun playing both. I mean, I enjoyed the story more just because I wasn't very good at the multiplayer. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, it's kind of weird the fact that they had a video for it 3 years ago and we're still waiting on it to come out. Are you worried at all about it, maybe not being or looking as good as it should?
No.
I don't know. I was gonna say no.
It's the same people that make all the Uncharted games, and everybody says the Uncharted games are really good. I've never played any of them. Or no, I played the first one, which is the worst. So there's that. But
you've never played any of them besides the first?
Yeah, I bought the Nathan Drake collection, and I was gonna run through them all. And the first one was so average. It took everything out of me, and I just moved on with my life.
Yeah, first one's not that great, dude. I played the second and the third one on PS3, though, and those were both fantastic. I was not crazy about the fourth.
Dragged on a little too long.
Yeah, and it was kind of like Assassin's Creed 3 in the fact that you had to, play as, a kid, and, that wasn't, those missions, weren't fun at all. When it takes you basically out of the main story and kind of gives you, another story, some kind of prelude childhood story that I didn't care about, didn't have fun playing, because when you're a kid, it kind of, unless it's a cool ass game where you want to be a kid, it's, being a kid limits you when you're used to being an action hero, so, I don't know, it's kind of lame.
I got you. No, but I'm not really that worried about it, just, honestly, because I like in the gameplay demo we've seen, I can already tell they've upped the brutality and the creativeness you can get with, takedowns and stuff, because, depending on where someone grabs you, or you grab them, or you tackle them or whatever, it'll do a different. They have so many different animations in the gameplay trailer from E3. I think it was just past E3, where she's underneath a truck and this guy comes and grabs her leg, and you can real quick slap his hand down and shoot him in the face, and it looks brutal. So that's gonna be awesome. I think the story is gonna be. I think it'll be fine. If not great, it'll be at least good enough to get me through the game. And then the multiplayer, all they really have to do is just give me more of the first one's multiplayer. Just give me more maps and more guns to use, and I'll be fine. And a little more customization or something, and I'll be good. There's not a whole lot of innovation I really need to see in the multiplayer, so I'm good.
Okay.
Maybe some more modes. There's only 3 modes, and only 2 of them are fun. So.
I mean, do they know that is the multiplayer highly coveted? Is it one of those things to where they're working on both actively? They're not going to skimp on either one, kind of like how Battlefront to me, kind of skimped on the campaign, even though it's enjoyable, and they kind of focused more on the multiplayer, which turned out to be not as enjoyable. You know?
Well, the thing is, like, the multiplayer was just sort of a tack on sort of thing. Like the Uncharted games have multiplayer, and like they just sort of tacked it on, being like, here's a little more bang for your buck. Here's something you can do, and I think people actually ended up liking it. And I would be kind of skeptical that we haven't seen anything about it yet, but I don't think they need to show anything until right before the game comes out anyway. And they just came out with Uncharted 4, and most people bought that game just for the story, and they still had multiplayer in it, so I'm not that worried.
Okay.
Very true.
Other games that came out or are coming out supposedly, Halo Infinite. I didn't even realize that Halo was making another game. I didn't know if it was made by that, like, not. I know it's not Bungie anymore, right? It's like a new company.
343, yeah, different company. Because Bungie makes all Destiny games now.
Okay, so I don't know. Probably not going to play that. And then there was a game that's coming out of like some Japanese studio called Babylon's Fall, which I thought Gamble might be interested in. So he can look that up. Other games,
it's coming to PS4. Ooh,
yeah, bro. Other games include Devil May Cry 5, Division 2.
Platinum game.
What's a platinum game?
That's what people
who makes it. It should be gameplay. It's fucking announcement trailer. I don't care about.
Is Platinum good? What else do they make?
They make weird games. They make like
Vanquish.
That Transformers game, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. They make weird games. Like, they make just like weird.
They do, but
but they make a lot of games.
Fun.
Yeah,
they're fun to play. I think is the point of it. But I think they have a good reputation, so that's cool. It doesn't have like a release date. It just might come out.
Are you excited for the Division 2, Money?
No, but I feel like we had talked about it. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of hype around that game. A lot of people are like super into it. I never got into it. I never played it though. Didn't know if you guys had played it at all. If you know anybody that plays it, that's like balls deep about it.
I played the demo for it, and I thought it was kind of fun. The problem with it is, again, it's just I can't find people that will play it with me, and I'm not going to play it by myself. Like I would hate to do
Dude,
that.
I'm down to play Division 2.
Yeah, but Gamble, come on. I mean, let's be honest. Like,
oh, okay. That was something I might want to check. I never played the first one, so I feel like it would be like new to me. It could be dope. Seems like fun, right? I don't know. It's like a more modern, like gear-based kind of game, right?
Yeah, it's like a third-person Destiny, and like that's another problem I have with it is people like the people enemies in the game are such sponges. Like they just take so many bullets. It's that kind of bugged me. But maybe the second one will be better, and if it is better, maybe like when it's on the discount, we should all give it a shot.
Because it's a multiplayer-focused game, right?
Yeah. And it's like it's better than Destiny in the sense that it is just one world that's like open, and you just go from place to place and kill a bunch of people, and like you get better guns and stuff, and you never know. It could be a more fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not like team deathmatch type stuff. Yeah, I know, like it's more in depth than that, but it's not like player versus player.
There's an area
player versus world.
There's an area in the game, like a little like part of the city where that happens, and you just go in there and like all hell breaks loose. But other than that, it's all just team based, like help each other.
More like a Fallout 76, not if anything, but like similar. Like you're all in this big world together. And some people are doing their own things, but you can also be in there with your friends and do shit.
The three of us could like squad up and do shit.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, we should definitely look into that then, or look into a game like that. We gotta play something.
Yeah,
true.
That'd be maybe the best bet, because I don't know, it seems pretty cool. It does have some hype, so maybe I'm giving into the hype.
Yeah, bro.
Kill the
hype train.
Hype train. All right. So a game I'm looking forward to is Pokemon on the Switch.
The new one that hasn't been announced yet?
We know nothing about it, but it's fine. We all know it's coming. They said last year that it was coming this year. So they were like, Pokemon Go is just like in the meantime type of deal. And apparently that was actually pretty fun. Obviously, I don't have a Switch, so I never got into that. But this one, we have no idea what it is. We don't know if it's a remake or just like the next one in the series. Like what they do. They did Sun and Moon, I think, was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That was the last ones, I think.
So it's supposed to be the next generation, like the next like big leap.
Next ones. Yeah. Right, okay. So cool. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to name them.
I don't either.
But
it's supposed to be a complete overhaul, too. Like,
yes.
I don't know, like, just a really different look at it. And I'm curious about it, honestly.
Excited. That and a Switch Pro. Shoot. I'll be set for days, for months, days and days and days.
What else you got, Money?
I never played the first one, and I kind of wanted to. I think I wanted to snag it off like Jacob, and that was Doom 1. They're coming out with Doom 2 this year, supposedly, and it's supposed to build on the first one. I never played the original Dooms. I heard the remake really wasn't that bad. I don't think it particularly sold well, but I heard it really was actually pretty enjoyable. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. I think it's a game that's right up your alley because you could just throw some music on, throw a movie on or something. Like there's literally like there's almost no story. Like the story is just
I love that.
Go forward, kill literally every person in your way, and like that's all there is to it.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Maybe see about trying to get the first one for like $5, see if it's worth it to get the second one kind of thing. Gears 5, which I thought Gears of War was done. I believe that's what it is Gears of War 5. Mm-hmm. Even though, didn't that already happen? Are they?
No.
Okay.
They announced it at E3.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to make note that was coming out. I don't really care. I always thought Gears would be great. When I finally got to play Gears, I think it was number 3. I wasn't impressed.
It's
I wasn't
heavy.
crazy about it.
I don't like the way. I don't like the way how like heavy and slow I am.
Yeah, I don't like it. And there's this other game coming out. I meant to look up more about it. I kind of deleted the articles I was reading earlier, but it's called Journey to the Savage Planet, and the guy who's making it was on Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed 3. 2 games I'm not necessarily crazy about, but I do like both those franchises. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of interested to see more about that game. Kind of looked like a single-player game. I feel like everything's post-apocalyptic, though, and I think that was one of those as well, where it's kind of like a different
take on it and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I also wrote down Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Metro Exodus. We kind of already talked about those. Mortal Kombat 11. 11. Rage 2, we already talked about. And then Resident Evil 2. Apparently, the last Resident Evil was good, and this one's like building off of that. But I thought they made like 6 of them, so I guess I'm kind of confused on.
No, this is a remake.
Yeah, this is a remake.
These are remakes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty ridiculous because the game came out on PS1 and it looked like garbage. And they completely redid it, and now it literally looks like a Last of Us game in terms of like how, like the speed of it and like the scariness of it, and it looks like really cool. I would be into it if it wasn't like Japanese centric, I guess. I don't know, that always turns me off. Is just like in Japanese games, like I guess the culture there or something with it is like they just like to be weird as fuck, like for no reason. Like it just makes and like nothing makes any sense, and like they like love that. And you know, if you like that, that's fine. I don't know, that bugs me. I can't take it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, the other games we talked about Rage 2. We talked about Star Wars and how I wanted to definitely know more about that. So I'm excited for that game if it ever happens. And then the last game to talk about is I don't think I've ever played the first 2. I don't really know anybody that has, but they've gotten like good reviews. Apparently they're good shooters, and that's Wolfenstein. Apparently they're coming out with a 3rd one, and it's got co-op. So I didn't know if maybe that would be a game worth either maybe checking out the old ones or checking out this new one if it's the only one with co-op to see if that would be like a better game to play together versus like Far Cry, you know, that kind of, or after Far Cry's done, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Yeah, this is the only one with co-op in it. This new one coming out. The other ones don't have co-op. The other ones are good though, apparently, and like I hear nothing but good things about them. They're like Doom though. You just go around, kill the crap out of people, brutally just destroy people. I forgot to say one thing on the Star Wars front is another reason I'm skeptical on that game is like EA has already canceled like 2 other Star Wars games that were supposed to come out. So like they're supposed to come out with like an open world one, and they like just canceled that. Like it was made by, I can't remember who it was made by, but then they also had one that was basically a Star Wars Uncharted like sort of situation. where it was like super epic, like, action movie, jumping around and like swinging off ropes and stuff, and they canceled that one as well. So it's like another reason I'm just like screw you, like just like, I don't know, like I don't have any faith in you because of that.
Both of those sound really sick too, so I'm
Exactly.
glad they canceled.
Like, I'd love to play the shit out of both those games, but yeah, throw me another Battlefront.
Is one of those games 1313 that you were talking about? Was it the Uncharted one? I don't know.
No, that was the game.
It was a while ago.
That game was in development before Disney bought the rights, and then Disney bought the rights, and they canceled that game, which is kind of
Then
dumb.
they canceled it. Yeah, exactly. That's upsetting. Really upsetting. But, yeah, okay. That's, I think that sums it up for most of the games. I mean, there's always those small, PS4 or maybe indie games that only come to the PlayStation Network that I'll check out and get.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we'll have,
I'll talk about it when I play it.
We won't know, yeah, exactly. We won't know, like, E3, until E3 happens, we really won't know what the roadmap is for the rest of the year. Because there's always some games that are announced then and then come out before the year's over. And, like, I love that. I love the shit where it's like, here's the shit you didn't know about, and you have, like, 3 or 4 months, and it's coming out. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Didn't they do that with Skyrim the first time?
No, they did that with Fallout 4.
Oh. Really?
They did that with Fallout 4. Like, Skyrim was teased for a long time. I guess I should mention that, too. Like, if they make a 6th Elder Scrolls game, and it comes out this year somehow, which I doubt, I'll be hyped. I'll be hyped as hell. But I think it's possible. I think they really want, like, they've gotten a lot of shit for Fallout 76, and they've, like, a lot of people are like, dude, The Witcher, like, makes all these other games look terrible. Like, they want to come out and, like, punch someone in the mouth and be like, yo, our games are still the shit,
I don't know. I mean, it's like, how long have they been working on it? I feel like there'd have to be, like, a Elder Scrolls team that's been working on it since, like, Skyrim.
Well, Skyrim came out in 2011, and then 4 years, Fallout 4 came out in 2015, so then it's 2019 now, so 4 years, like, you would think
that's true.
They're ready to go.
It's true. So that means, like, not many people probably worked on Fallout 76 then, because it was still them.
It was done by they acquired 3 studios, and I can't remember who, like, what the different places are. But there's the main one that's in Bethesda, like, at the place, like, in Maryland, or is it in?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, there's that one. There's one in Austin, which I think did most of the work on the game, and they sort of assisted with it.
I think you're right.
So, like, that's their separate studio. Then their main studio has basically been working on the Elder Scrolls 6 since... Oh, wait, you know what? I just remembered. They said that Starfield was going to come out first. They're like, sci-fi game.
That's the game I was thinking of. I was like, they have another game coming out.
Yeah, so maybe that game will be ready. But now that I say that game has to come first, maybe they won't, because they probably need to... I don't know. Maybe that game isn't as close to being ready as I wish it was. But I don't know.
Could be.
You never know. Yeah, I think that's...
sweet time.
That's all I got to say on video games.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess we'll kind of cap off the show with movies. I've got, like, a long list of movies here. Not all of them are great. Some of them, like the ones, some of them, just kind of run through them, describe them in one word, like ass or good or decent, that kind of thing.
There you go.
But yeah, you guys want to kind of start things off in terms of, what you're looking forward to in
I would say
2019?
I would say, because you have so many, dude, you just go ahead and we'll just chip in whenever, like, we, have something to say, and then, like, we'll come back if you haven't touched on anything, but I bet you're going to touch on everything that we're going to say anyway, so.
Yeah,
I went through...
You did the most research.
I did. I went through, like, an IMDb list and a Rotten Tomatoes list. So, yeah, hopefully every movie that's worth talking about and anticipated to actually come out this year we'll cover, in this section. Before we jump into that, I just saw another note that I forgot about. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, did it already release?
Out.
Yeah, it's already out.
Mm-hmm. What are the reviews on that, since that game was, like, so hyped, wasn't it?
It's pretty good. Not, like, phenomenal, but, like, really good. Like, really good reviews.
Like, I think if you're into Disney and you want to, like, be in those Disney worlds and, like, interact with Disney characters, I think it's, like, a dream come true. But I've never been a huge Disney person, so I've never been into the series in general. That's just me.
Well, see, because, like, the first 2 came out, and then since then, Disney's acquired, or Marvel has become a huge thing, and Star Wars has become a huge thing. So I was hoping those would be in there somewhere. And if those were, you bet your ass I'd buy that game, because that'd be freaking awesome to have both Marvel and Star Wars and, like, all these other crazy, like, Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen and Lion King and, you know, Aladdin and stuff. Like, that'd be such a nuts game, but I don't know. It's not, it's a little too on the Japanese side for me.
Okay. It is weird. It is a weird game, I'm pretty sure. And, like, Goofy's always with you, I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah, Goofy and Donald.
I would shoot myself. Goofy was following me around. I would hate it. That's why I don't want to play the games, because I'm not going to listen to those fuckers the entire time.
All right, Money. What do you got for us?
All right. So, well, we've already kind of talked about Endgame. That's the first one I've written down, obviously, is because, you know, that was the top of the list. You guys are, well, Gable doesn't really, I guess, watch trailers. Reagan, you're avoiding trailer, you know, of that movie. I saw a 1 30-second thing on it. I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I'm interested to see how it all comes together, and I'm also kind of dying to find out how much, you know, we're going to know after Captain Marvel, just because at the end of Infinity Wars, you know, Captain Marvel is signaled by
Nick Fury.
Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, as he's turning into dust. So I'm kind of hoping that, I'm sure this is what it's going to do, because Marvel knows what they're doing, but I'm hoping it's going to, like, paint a picture of how things are going to work in Endgame, but not, like, spoil anything. So, like, we're going to get a feel for how it's going to play out, but it's not going to be like, oh, well, I know exactly what's going to happen now in Endgame, or, you know, that kind of thing.
I think it's going to be like something along the lines of, you'll get a normal movie, and then the post-credit scene will be linking Captain Marvel to Endgame. Like, it'll be like, all right, I'm here. What do we got to do? Like, something like that.
I think so, because that was part of my question, is if for Captain Marvel, are they going to do, like, her own, not necessarily, like, backstory or origin story, but just, like, her own story, like, maybe takes place in her world or whatever, and then towards the end of it is when she receives that signal from Nick Fury, like, oh shit, I'm needed on Earth, or is it going to be, like, the story of her, because obviously that implies that Nick Fury and Captain Marvel, so I guess S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain Marvel obviously have a history, like, if they can get in contact with each other. So is it going to be the past history of, like, how they met and how they, like, became friends or something? That would be kind of cool. Or is it just going to be, like, and I highly doubt this one, is it going to be, because I haven't seen any trailers, so I really don't know. Is it going to be, like, her just showing up, you know, on Earth, and it's just going to be a continuation after Infinity War, and then her shit happens, and then there's all of Endgame? See, that's why I'm doubtful about that one.
No,
what is it?
It takes most of it takes place, it looks like, in the 90s. Like, it starts off like she lands in a blockbuster, which is hilarious. Like, it like blatantly tells you, like, yo, this is back in time, because, like, there's still blockbusters around. But that's another thing that's, like, worrying and exciting about it. It's like, you really can't tell how the movie's gonna go from the trailers. Like, you can't really tell if are we gonna go chronologically? Like, has she been to Earth before? Like, what are her powers? Like, how did she get them? Who are the enemies? What is Samuel L. Jackson doing? Like, you really can't tell what's going on at all.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm so excited for Avengers 2 that I'm, in turn, very excited for Captain Marvel. Like, I'm very excited to see what happens.
I can't wait. That's like a month away, right?
Yep, March 8th. Yeah. Less than a month,
Ooh. Oh, wow. Ooh.
I'm so excited. I'm ready to go see the movie. I'm ready to go see, like, a movie in general. I just, like, I've been looking at all these movies. I'm like, I don't really want to see any of this crap.
You didn't go see Cold Pursuit?
No, did you see it?
Hell yeah.
You didn't see it.
Well, I mean, I didn't see it the first time I tried because it was sold out, obviously, but I was able to see the Late Show.
I don't know what day he's going to the movies.
Yeah, you know, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday normally sold out, especially for Liam Neeson, but so I just caught the 10 o'clock, you know. Anyway, other exciting movies coming out, Star Wars Episode 9. We've touched on, you know, I think Reagan and I have touched on that at one point, how this might be, you know, best movie of the year, best Star Wars yet. Hopefully they build up on the fuel from movie number 8. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, how much fuel are we going to have?
Hopefully all
going to be enough Yeah, exactly. Is it enough fuel to start the rebellion? Is it enough fuel to like end the war? Like, what's the fuel situation?
Dude, I'll give a movie a fuego if it just starts off and like the first word is just fuel. Like I'll literally just be like, all right, I'll leave the movie right then and there. I'll be like, all right, man, let's do this review. Like the movie was fuego. It surpassed all my expectations. It gave me something I never knew I needed. Like just
what about the fuel?
I'm telling you, bro, I could see it going down like Disney, Lucasfilms, and then like the classic Star Wars text. Fuel in a galaxy far, far away is going to now be the most important thing, in the universe. I could see that happening. And it's got the rolling text and like it's all fuel ridden throughout the script.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
So many people would be so angry. Oh my God.
Disney is just trying to justify Afghanistan, bro. I'm telling you. I know.
Their hidden agenda.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Something. Yeah. That's a hot take right there. Only on the Decent Show. Subscribe, follow on Twitter, tweet us back.
Boom. Are they planning any other like side stories in the Star Wars universe?
Well, Star Wars Celebration, which is their own like E3 Comic-Con sort of thing. That's in April, and a lot of people have been like, "Yo, like they're probably gonna announce like an Obi-Wan movie or like some new movie because they have the guy who did The Last Jedi. He's working on a trilogy of movies like that take place in some other time.
Mm-hmm.
He's working on one, and there's someone else who's working on like one that takes place before Episode 1.
Oh my God!
Well, that would be Solo took place before Episode 1.
No, I mean like
no,
the Phantom Menace, not like the first.
Yeah, you're right.
No, you're good. It's confusing.
I think I would put money on a Darth Maul movie. That'd be kind of dope.
It would be.
Darth Maul,
unless they do a Solo 2 and he's going to be in Solo 2.
That'd be dope. That would be dope. That's another thing in TV I'm excited for is I want to see the Pedro Pascal's The Mandalorian, like by the guy who did the Iron Man movies. That TV show, I want to see that.
What is that coming on?
On the Disney streaming service.
The Disney streaming service has a show with Pedro Pascal playing what?
But remember we talked about it? He's going to be a bounty hunter, like the race of bounty hunters or whatever. Like he's the main character in that show.
It's a Star Wars TV show?
Yeah, we talked about it before. We talked about it on the show before.
Holy cow, dude. I guess I forgot. I guess I didn't understand the caliber. So it's going to be a Disney original streaming service show about like, a Star Wars bounty hunter with Pedro Pascal, possibly Pedro Pascaling?
Possibly. I think he's the main character, so that'd be tough, but he could still maybe make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he could be someone's friend and still screw him over, dude. He could still do a Pedro. Like, it'd be great.
A quote-unquote twist. So what else you got? What do you got? Stuff off the beaten path besides Star Wars and Endgame. What do you got? And Captain
well, see, that's the thing. I mean, I'm kind of starting here at the top. There's just so much. So Toy Story 4, I never saw Toy Story 3. I can't believe that they're still making them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go back and watch 3 and 4. I don't know if I really care to watch kids movies anymore unless they're like funny. And the reason why I say that is because I kind of want to see the Lego movie so that I can see Lego 2, because I actually did really enjoy Lego Batman. So, live action Lion King movie. Disney seems to be doing a lot of live action. I know they've done that in the past with Beauty and the Beast and whatever else, but now they've got one. Jungle Book, that's what it was. Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. Now this year I think it's going to be Lion King, Aladdin, and possibly another one that I can't find here, but I might find later. But yeah, for sure those 2 weeks I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I'll go see Aladdin for sure. I don't think I'll see Lion King. I don't know. Aladdin just seems like a more interesting story to me than Lion King.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, and kind of in there, we were talking about, the superhero movies and Star Wars. Even though I've kind of lowered my expectations for it, the more I think about it, but I still want to see it, and that is Shazam. I'm interested to see how that movie turns out. Yep. And then, I don't know if I'm more hyped. I think I'm more hyped for this movie than I am Star Wars 9 and Avengers, which is saying a lot.
Spider-Man.
And that's Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Spider-Man
Yes,
Far From Home. I still got to show Gamble the trailer. Still have not done that, but I am dying to see that movie. And then we talked about Captain Marvel. So other movies now, this is just kind of going to be like a run through of other movies that I could probably, I'll probably see, but I'm not necessarily like dying to see. But these are all the stuff that, is going to be coming out this year. And John Wick Chapter 3, which I can't believe they're doing that. I was surprised they made a second one. I need to go rewatch that because I fell asleep during theaters while seeing it. Godzilla. Never saw the first one, but they're coming out with that King of Monsters one. I know Reagan and I watched the trailer for it and talked about it on the trailer episode. Interested to see how that one turns out.
The first one has got a nomination for the most decent movie of the year award. Unfortunately, we weren't doing the show back then, so I can't give it to it. But very average, very disappointing. But I'm excited for the second one just because it looks like there's a lot more monsters, a lot more monster fighting. Like I'm down. Like let's go.
Get it.
Right there with you.
I found the other Disney movie that they're making live action, Dumbo.
What? Not gonna see that. Nope.
No, and it looks weird as shit. I think Tim Burton's doing that one.
Strike 3.
Oh gosh.
Yep. I don't like Tim Burton's movies.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
Yeah,
except for he did do the original Batman with Michael Keaton. And,
those movies are hilarious. I don't know if you've watched them recently. They are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
At one point, like Batman, like literally takes a bomb from a criminal, stuffs it down his pants, and then kicks him down a manhole. Like just brutally murders him, but it's like it's done so comedically. Like it's like, oh, Batman's a fool. Like it's not like he's not.
It's gonna affect the sewer.
Yeah, like it's not like he's just blowing that man genitals first, like away, like in the sewer. But yeah, funny stuff.
Whatever. He's fine.
They find him.
They dig. And then there is the X-Men movies, which we've kind of touched on, Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. I think I'm actually going to see both of them. I would like to. That way I have, can maybe rip on them or...
those are movies, those are movies we got to see because no matter what, like, we'll either be pleasantly surprised or we'll just have so much ammo, like... It won't be like, it won't be something like, a Skyscraper or an Equalizer 2 where it's like, that wasn't that good. I don't really have, there's something like I'm passionate about, but like there's a lot of potential for stupid shit to be in those movies and we could just rip into it. So, yeah.
I know. I need to see Apocalypse so I can be caught up. I think that's the only one I haven't seen. Other Disney movie I found, Frozen 2. Never saw the first one. Can't wait for the second one, though.
I'll probably see the second one.
Why?
I'll probably have to be.
Nice.
The first one wasn't that bad.
Okay. She gonna let it go.
I mean, I don't really like the
Aladdin.
Disney and Pixar movies that much. To be honest with you, like I really like The Incredibles, and I think the original Toy Story, and the rest I can sort of take or leave, but I still kind of enjoy them, and like this is another one of those Disney and Pixar movies where I'm like, yeah, I kind of enjoyed the first one, so I wouldn't mind watching the second one. Like sort of like Wreck-It Ralph too. Like I kind of enjoyed the first one, and I wouldn't mind seeing the second one.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. And then what else is coming out here? So we got. I don't know. I don't think I want to see it, but I feel like there's a lot to rip on it, and that would be the new Terminator movie that's going to have Arnie in it.
Yeah. Oh God, that's probably going to be so bad.
Why would they do that, man? Just let it go. Like, how can anybody think that this is a good idea to
They don't.
make another one?
Yeah, let's make some money. Like, money.
Money. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. So I think I haven't skipped anything yet. So the rest, the Joker movie, I am excited for it. I don't care.
Cautiously optimistic, yeah. I'm excited. Actually, I'm excited for it. I think they're going to do a good job on it.
I certainly hope so. Hopefully it'll be watchable and then not too slow. Tom Hanks is doing a Mr. Rogers movie. I still don't know shit about Mr. Rogers, but...
I really wanted to see that documentary, so I'm also excited for this movie. That documentary is apparently, like, amazing. Like, it's apparently, like, really good. And I was like, yeah, that seems interesting.
What is his deal? What makes it good or interesting? I don't know. What is his... I guess... I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
Just that he's like I think he's some sort of like pastor or something, and he basically just like his success is just ridiculous for being just a pastor, and then he was able to like rise to the top basically, and you know, get this really successful show going, and he like really helped like change a lot of people's lives and like turn people's lives around, and like I think he even stopped like someone like from committing suicide or something. Like there's a lot of interesting things about like just the sort of amazing stuff he's done. Like it's one of those documentaries where it's not really about like their fall or like their mess ups or anything, but it's like it's about his achievements apparently, because apparently he's done so much good stuff, and then some of it's just sort of unbelievable is like what I've heard, that the documentary is really good.
Because I think for the longest time, I didn't even know if he was a real person or not, or if he was just a TV show. You know, like I didn't know anything about him.
Kind of with you there.
What else you got, Mike? I just found some stuff I think you probably didn't get, but just because it's probably not stuff you're interested in, so I have actually some stuff to talk about here.
Okay, well, I'll try to wrap this up then. Madagascar 4. Can't believe they're making that.
No way in hell will I watch that.
I don't think I ever watched all of the first one, but Zombieland 2, same cast, except for maybe no Emma Stone. Well, Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg. I don't know if I saw Emma Stone.
They did a thing where it was like the 10-year challenge, and like they did a post. They like announced the movie with like a poster of all 4 of them in it. So I think that they're all 4 of them back.
Ballin'. 10-year challenge. Goddamn, 10 years ago.
Hellboy, which I never saw the originals of those. I guess they're rebooting that. Did you guys see those?
Yeah, I know. I've seen like parts
Never
of them.
into Hellboy.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know. It sort of seems like a Tim Burton kind of take on a superhero. Like it's really weird, and I don't know. I'm not unless another trailer comes out and it blows me away. I'm not really that excited for it.
Okay.
And the thing with Zombieland is, like, I feel like it's been so long since that other movie, it's probably not going to be good, just because how many times does a movie wait 10 years to come out with a sequel just to not be good?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I hate that, but, you know, whatever. And then a movie called Masters of the Universe. It's a He-Man movie. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing that for some reason. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
Is it animated?
Yeah, it looked animated.
Okay.
Space Jam 2 is supposedly supposed to finally come out. Not excited for that.
Screw that.
Yeah, I know. Space Jam Dose with LeBron Jameson, LeBron Swansini. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then
Swansini.
Now You See Me 3, which I thought the second one had some cool moments, but honestly, overall kind of sucked. You know, but it had the same cast and added Daniel Radcliffe, you know, Harry Potter. But we'll see where the third one goes.
You're a wizard, Harry. Hopefully someone says that.
You're a blizzard, Harry. There's Sonic the Hedgehog has a movie, and it says it's starring Jim Carrey. Do you guys know anything about this?
Yeah, it's like live action, and he's supposed to be the Sonic's main bad guy. Jim Carrey's playing Sonic's main bad guy. It looks terrible based on the one poster. It looks like really just, I don't know. It looks disturbing, honestly. It just doesn't look right to have Sonic look real.
A live action movie.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. And it's a video game movie, so it's probably going to be garbage. Like,
and yeah, it's kind of weird that they got Jim Carrey on it too. I guess I still don't understand Jim Carrey anymore. And then a movie that I'm super hyped for, but I don't know what to expect because I'm not crazy about the director, and that is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Margot Robbie, Leo DiCaprio, you know, Tarantino directing.
Yes.
So. Yes.
Hyped as hell for that movie. That movie's going to be awesome, I think, at least. Just the source material and all the actors in it. Like, the story it's about the Manson murders, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, that sounds like an awesome movie. Some stuff, like, in here I want to watch is It Chapter 2. Watch the first...
Yeah, I had that.
Watch the first It. Actually a really good horror movie, honestly. Like, I don't usually care for horror movies that much, but I've had to watch a lot, and the story was actually really good, and I'm actually excited to see the second one, and it's got like a really good cast in it, like James McAvoy, Bill Hader,
and
Jessica Chastain, yeah, like they're all playing the grown-up versions of the kids. That's going to be awesome. At least I hope it is. We've already talked about it, but Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, like that could be a really good movie, or it could be sort of a... That to me, that movie's going to be like a skyscraper, or it's going to be like a really good movie. You know, it's going to be boring bad. You know, not like fun bad, where it's just so bad that you can make fun of it for hours, and you know it's satisfying almost to have seen such a monstrosity. Gemini Man, it's got Will Smith in it. Just seems like an interesting concept, honestly. It's like a younger cloned version of himself is trying to kill him, and he's like Will Smith plays a hitman, and then a younger version of him is trying to perform a hit on him. That seems like an interesting movie. And then Ad Astra is with Brad Pitt, where he has to go back to, like, he goes to another planet to save his father, and it's like post-apocalyptic or something. Some sort of, like, the planet's in trouble, basically, like Earth is. And that movie sounds good, too. Like, those movies seem like something like a Blade Runner, or, I don't know, like, just a sci-fi, like, weird movie. Like even A Quiet Place, where it's like, you wouldn't really expect it to be that good, but, I don't know, maybe those movies could be the best movies of this year.
Yeah.
Kingsman 3, we've already sort of touched on that. Garbage.
I'm hoping they redeem themselves, because I still love the first one so much.
Yeah, the first one's great.
Greatly disappointed in the second one. Hopefully they redeem themselves with the third one. I didn't know if you were going to talk about the new Men in Black at all, with like a new cast.
That's another skyscraper situation right there, where it's, you know, it just looks like it's playing it a little too safe. And I like the people in the movie. I like Chris Hemsworth, and I'm blanking on the girl's name from Thor Ragnarok. God, I don't know. It's on the tip of my
light skin.
Yeah, what is her name?
Yeah, Valkyrie.
That's it. No, in real life, money.
Not
the character or Ragnarok.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, bro. And then the Pikachu detective movie. What the hell?
Tessa Thompson.
What the hell is going on there?
That movie looks like, apparently, like, a lot of people are really high on it. I don't know. I'm kind of, isn't like the whole appeal of Pokemon for them to be battling each other and like people training them and them evolving and all that stuff? It just seems like
people just like Pikachu.
Yeah,
like half of Pokemon is just like, man, some of these little monsters are freaking adorable, or like it's such a clever idea. Like some of them are like have clever names and you know shit like that. So there is that edge to it. I imagine this is more like a kids movie. Hopefully, obviously, anything Pikachu should be more towards the kids.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I imagine it's not gonna get good reviews. That's just my take on it. Hot take. It's probably gonna be.
I don't know how to feel about it yet, honestly.
It's so weird. It just looks so weird.
It looks very off-putting, to be honest with you. Like, I think that's how they probably should look, but it's still just, I don't know.
Right.
What about Jumanji 2?
Yeah, dude, I can't believe they got the same cast, but I mean, I don't even, like we talked about earlier, I don't know.
You gonna see it?
Not in theaters, probably, no. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'd have to see it on a Tuesday where it's like $5. Like, I don't want to go pay for that movie, like during primetime hours or something. But yeah, I just, like we talked about earlier, I don't get how the story is going to pick up. How are they going to have the same characters again? Like, what are they going to do? That's probably going to be the only thing I want to see. And once that's figured out, like, I'm sure the movie is going to be poop-a-loop. But, I don't know. Like, it's kind of sad that I'm such a huge fan of The Rock, but I'm not crazy about, you know, a lot of his movies lately, just because I feel like he's just like putting them out there. He's like, yeah, I'll do a movie every 6 months, but none of them are going to be good. Like, I don't want that. So that's kind of disappointing. I've never been crazy about Kevin Hart's movies. And then speaking of The Rock in a movie that I do want to see, and that's the wrestling Fighting with My Family movie. I kind of want to see that. I don't know. It looks like it could be good. At the same time, it looks like it could be a big tease, and I'll waste 2 hours and only get to see like 10 minutes of Rocks. So, I mean, I don't really know how I feel about that.
That is always a concern.
A huge concern. You know, a lot of Rock in my life. And then Christian Bale's doing another movie. It looks like based on a true story. I don't know if he, like, how big of a part he plays in it, but it's called Ford versus Ferrari, and it's I guess back in the 60s when they were, I guess, having a battle. I don't know. That looks interesting. I'd be interested to learn about that.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And then, do you know anything about the new Jordan Peele movie called Us? It looks like another, like, black people horror movie. It looks really weird.
Yeah, I don't think it looks good, to be honest with you. It looks really weird, and I don't know, not appealing. I don't. But also, Get Out didn't really look that appealing either, and that ended up being a pretty good movie. So
Yeah. And I guess people are going to kind of follow that hype train / the horror movie hype train, and probably a lot of people are going to go see it anyway. And I guess we'll find out if that's good. I'm not going to go see it. The trailer looked freaking weird as shit. It looks so weird. And then there's a new Michael Bay movie called Six Underground, and it's about billionaires that become vigilantes to fight notorious criminals. So it literally sounds like Six Batmans directed by Michael Bay. Like, I don't know.
Excellent.
Man, I wish that was the title of the movie.
Kind of interested. Yes, Six Batmans. I'm kind of interested to learn more about that movie because, like, that premise, like, it sounds like a movie that's kind of up my alley, but it also sounds like a movie that could be awful, and it also sounds like Six Batmans. So I'm interested to see what happens there. And I think that's about all I have. There's like a new Seth Rogen movie coming out, but I didn't look up enough about it besides the fact that it's called Long Shot. It looks kind of like a rom-com, maybe a com-rom.
With Charlize Theron.
Yeah. And I really like her from Atomic Blonde and other stuff. Kind of drawing a blank there. But anyway,
yeah.
That's pretty much all the movies that I have.
I think that'll do it for 2019 most anticipated.
I think so. Touched on a lot. The real
question is, did we actually say what the most anticipated is across all three categories for all three of us? Because I don't know if we ever did.
No, we didn't.
All I remember was saying Spider-Man. I don't remember saying anything else, bro.
For me, it's easily Avengers.
You said Spider-Man last time. Now you're saying Avengers?
Yeah, I'm changing it. I'm more anticipating Avengers, but I think Spider-Man has a better chance to be the best movie of the year.
They're all going to be so good.
They are. That's the thing, is it's a win-win. Yeah, it's a win-win. Like, a lot of these highly anticipated movies are going to be good or great.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a time to be alive. Amazing.
Drake and Future had it right.
Great.
True. Well, we're coming up on an hour and 50 minutes here, give or take. Hour 45. We trying to wrap it up? What are we moving on to?
We'll wrap it up. No, that's everything I have. Spider-Man Far From Home is my most anticipated movie, most anticipated game that we didn't talk about. A lot of hype there. 2K20, obviously. And then,
are you going to get 2K20?
How could I not? And then...
are you really going to get it?
It depends on how much I enjoy the rest of 2K19. Like, I don't know. It never ends. So it's like, once 2K20 comes out, am I done playing 2K19? Do I want to wait? Do I want to not get it at all? It just kind of depends. But I have 2K19 right now, so my goal is to basically beat all of that and then see how I feel afterwards.
My game's going to be Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
See, I don't know if that one's going to come out this year.
I know, that's the thing. If I had to pick one that... most of the games I'm excited for, I don't think are coming out this year.
True. I would say my most anticipated, and I don't even know if I'll be able to play it, but that's the Pokemon game. Like, low-key, I want to see what they do. I want to see what they do. I want to see where they go with it. And hopefully there's a new Switch Pro, so then I will play it. But that's just all anticipation. So in the theme of the show here, most anticipated, I'm going with Pokemon. And then, the Marvel movies, as far as movies go.
It's all of them.
Yeah. And then Big Mouth Season 3.
Yep.
And,
I'm excited for the new Schoolboy album. That's probably
the most... I was going to say TDE.
TDE and Gambino.
Ooh, Gambino, I forgot. Thank you for the reminder. Quick little recap here at the end of the show.
I'm going to go Game. I'm going to go Game as my most anticipated album.
Really?
Whoa, West Side Story, bro.
Yeah, kind of weird. All right.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us for the decent show. Like, subscribe, all that garbage. Yeah.
We're on iTunes now. YouTube.
Feels like,
Twitter, YouTube, The Decent Show.
New episodes coming out every Saturday, it looks like, or at least recording new episodes every Saturday for right now. Maybe more stuff in the future. Hopefully we're going to see a movie, too. We haven't done a movie review in a while.
It's a struggle, man.
It's looking like it's going to be Captain Marvel, though, in terms of, what's going to be seen by all three of us, or at least two of us. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Under the bus.
Hey,
It's true. If you go, I'll go. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to hold you to that. You're going to be like, I'm just not really in the mood right now.
Just be like Captain Marvel. You got to clap your hands. As you're saying, you got to clap it out.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Captain Marvel. We'll get the hype going.
Get the hype. Kill the hype. All right. Well, you want to take us home?
Guys? Yeah, we'll take us home.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to The Decent Show. Make sure you tune in, like, comment, subscribe. For Reagan Horton and Kyle Gamble, I'm Ryan Money. Have a good night.